What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another live recording of the Engadget podcast. I'm senior editor Devendra Hardwar, and I'm joined with Cherlynn Lowe.
Hello.
Our reviews editor and our producer, Ben Elman. Hey, Ben.
Hello. What's going on?
What's up? And if you've not joined us before, this is you're going to get to see how the sausage is made. You're going to get to see how we put the show on. We also take some time with this live stream to ask people questions. So gear those up. You can drop those in the YouTube chat. You can also tweet at us at Engadget, #podcast live, right? That's what we're going with.
Yeah, I think so. I want to quickly shout out the few people who have already gathered on the chat. I recognize some names from the 2 unboxing and live streams we've already done this week. Mark Dell is here again. Thank you very much. Suyash, I think. Peter Leno from older podcast live streams. And James Anderson.
Thank you, fans. Thank you, fans. By the way, we are also going to be joined later by Chris Velasco, our mobile guru, to talk about some fun stuff he's working on. So it's going to be a fun show.
He's a favorite.
Yeah. Listen, I know how much the internet loves V, and especially you and V together, which was literally the first note we got when we started going live. So yeah.
We have a comment for Ben from Mark Dell in the chat. He says, Ben looks very ... I think your picture. And he says, Mom always said, if you keep making that face, it'll freeze like that. So.
It's true. It's true.
It's really because I'm in a vacation timeshare right now, and my internet is really weird.
That's so fun. I would also like to be in a vacation timeshare right now. So I hear you.
Do either of you care to explain the context around that picture? Because it is Engadget related.
Ben specifically picked an Engadget related picture for the live stream for the podcast because this picture was taken when we used to be in an office, and Ben would come in on podcast recording days. And he happened to be in the office when V was trying out the new Pringles Hunger Hammer. That
Just to be clear, this is not a real product. This is really just like a PR thing.
Except for
Razer's
CEO
Pringles.
Razer CEO Min Liang was also like, let's make this happen. So who knows, maybe Razer's in the works.
Razer's gonna make everything happen. All right, are we good to go? I don't want to waste too much of our viewers' time.
We're definitely ready to record anytime. Do we need to sync, Ben?
No, I got I have a timer going already, so you can start when you're ready. And I think we're starting with NVIDIA. Is that right?
And we're going to start with the show proper. No, look at the what's up, Sherlyn?
Oh,
I just wanted to remind everyone that's watching that, like, while we're doing the proper recording of the show, we're not going to be able to talk directly to you like we're doing now. But in between segments, we'll be able to pause and take some questions or see what you said.
So get those ready. We're also going to be recording the show a bit out of order because Chris Velasco won't be able to join us until 11. So we will, it's going to be in a different order in the final show, but you'll get to see a lot of the fun stuff. Yeah.
I will say, stay tuned till the end because V's going to come on to talk about the Galaxy Z Fold 2 after spending more than a day with it. He'll be able to answer your questions live, more questions. And I have the Surface Duo. I can't say much about the software at all, but we will be able to answer those questions near the end around 11:30. So stay tuned.
So we are going to start with the NVIDIA news, and then we're going to do the IFA stuff too, just because we need to fill an hour before
we'll just do everything. So
we'll just do everything else. Okay, cool. Keep that in mind. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. What's up, Internet, and welcome back to the Engadget podcast. I'm Senior Editor Devendra Hardawar.
I'm Reviews Editor Sherlyn Lowe.
And this week, we're going to be talking about the Galaxy Z Fold 2 with our mobile editor, Chris Velasco. It's been a very busy week. There's been so much news. There's news from NVIDIA and Intel, new hardware from everybody. IFA is going on. There's so much stuff, so much news. I am very tired. Sherlyn, are you tired?
I am not tired because I am dead.
Okay, sure. Yeah. We're either dead or tired. So the podcast is giving us life. So be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes or your podcatcher of choice. All your support helps to keep the Engadget podcast going. Drop us an email at podcast@engadget.com. And what else? Join us live. We do live shows every Thursdays around 10 a.m. Eastern. If you join us live on our YouTube channel, you can ask us questions because there are usually Q&A segments. So that's always a fun thing, right?
We love interacting with you guys, honestly. We know a lot of you are regular listeners, so we really appreciate the support. It's too early in the morning for me.
The Sherport. We really appreciate the Sherport. Okay, that is intro, and we'll go straight into NVIDIA. Okay.
Yep.
I'll just be combining it. So this week was a pretty big news week for PC gamers and PC fans in general. NVIDIA had a big event. Actually, not really a big event. It's like a 30-minute live stream, but the news was huge because they announced the new RTX 3000 cards. These are things that we've been waiting for a very long time. It's been 2 years since they announced their RTX 2000 series cards, and they're very exciting. So let me just break this down real quick. These are all running NVIDIA's new Ampere architecture, which promises to be both faster and more efficient than the last generation cards. And the big thing here, too, is with the first RTX cards, NVIDIA introduced real-time ray tracing to PC gaming. And that was a feature we saw adopted by a couple games like Control and I believe Battlefield. Not very many, but a couple. And I love Control so much. But the thing we learned is no matter how powerful your card was, even if you had the $1,200 RTX 2080 Ti, which I still have in my system right now, Control, you flip on RTX and that card will start to really chug, which is kind of sad. No matter how the game looks great, but RTX really took those cards down quite a bit. So the RTX 3000 cards look like they're going to be a huge bump for real-time ray tracing. So that's going to be big. And let's go down the line here. I think the most interesting one is the $499 RTX 3070, which NVIDIA says is faster than the RTX 2080 Ti. Now that's impressive, right? This is
crazy,
it's a $500 card that is technically faster than their old $1,200 card, because that thing launched at quite a bit. So that's a huge value for gamers, people who waited, people who had the GTX 1000 line. This is a good time to upgrade. There's also the $699 RTX 3080, which is the new like top of the line for the mainstream, bunch of cards. But the thing they really left for the end is the RTX 3090, which is $1,499. This card is huge. This card takes up 3 PCI slots. It's a beast. I've never seen a video card that looks this huge. I've seen PCs that are maybe the size of this video card. So it's a big thing. And what we know so far is they're all going to be better for RTX. The new architecture handles RTX a lot more efficiently without hitting your frame rates as much. They're also going to draw a lot more power too. So it's going to be interesting to see what power elements people come into as they start to adopt these things. I will say the RTX 3090, despite being so expensive, is probably a great thing for a lot of like creators and not just gamers, but people who game and also shoot and edit video. They do a lot of stuff here.
I know one of our video producers on the studios team was very excited about the NVIDIA news. And also, can I just talk about that event really quickly? Because it happened, I think, right after the Galaxy Z Fold 2 event. So that was a really, really packed day. And Chris Velasco and I had been doing a live stream earlier that day. So we were cutting into NVIDIA's event time. But then when I went on and saw the stream, it was like happening out of Jensen's, and I forget his last name, his kitchen.
Jensen's Huang, yeah. Like his, it was in front of his kitchen and his giant chef's stove, but his stove, which has the huge like vent hood like every rich person will have, his stove has like marble columns to the sides of them, and like really like gauche, really like ornate things you'd find in a museum just sitting in his kitchen. So
I heard he has a fantastic spatula collection, which is great.
He does. I mean, you're not gonna be the CEO of NVIDIA and not like really kick butt with your spatula collection, okay?
Yeah.
I was actually waiting because they were showing off a lot of like stuff RTX could do in real time. I was waiting for the end of the stream for Jensen to hit a button and be like, "This kitchen doesn't exist."
Oh my goch!
It's
exactly.
being rendered real time in RTX. Yeah. That'd be hilarious.
Exactly. The ray tracing provided this background I'm in front of. I don't actually have 12 spatulas.
Realistic ray tracing stuff. Yeah. What else from NVIDIA? They showed off a bunch of software. They showed off, a bunch of features, specifically things that would like help you cancel noise and help you remove backgrounds in your videos too, which will also be powered by your RTX cards. That's all fun. Like they're figuring out a lot of new ways to use the hardware they have in these GPUs. They also talked about this thing. I forget the exact name of it, but it is a direct storage technology that'll basically help you get the textures from the card right to your system without like waiting for the disk slowdown. So basically means like load times could be instant. Streaming like big open world games could be a lot faster. This is technology we've been sort of hearing about on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. So it kind of makes sense that we're starting to hear more about it on PCs too. So this is the future of gaming, NVIDIA's RTX 3000 series. And we will have some impressions soon. I'm very excited, mainly for the ray tracing. Ray tracing looks so good. And, let me just take a step here.
Yeah.
My headset just gave me a beep and it was like, hey, you should charge me. So let me just find my cable for that. What you up to, Sherlyn?
Let me double check let me take a look at
your stuff.
No, my stuff is fine, y'all. Okay, so we got James Anderson saying he's got the 2080 Ti. People are saying the 3090. Mark Dell, very good point. The RTX 3090 is still $500 cheaper than a Galaxy Fold.
Oh God, that is a point we should definitely make. That's a point we should definitely make right here.
We will take that point into the podcast, Mark. Thank you. That's such a good point. Lots of people are hype about the cards. They do seem very exciting for creators. We can get such high-res virtual realities in the future.
I'm gonna make some noise here, sorry folks, because I have a storm of cables on my table and only one USB-C cable. Hold on.
No worries. Going back through the comments, Cornell,
there
thank
we
you.
go.
But I don't think we would do good doing that.
Okay, let me actually let's raise that point because I think that's really interesting.
Okay, we're gonna go back to the podcast now.
Then when we're moving into the Intel news, we can just say like, speaking of PC internals or something. Sure. So fire when ready.
So the big takeaway with these RTX cards, better ray tracing and honestly better pricing too. The 3090 for $1,500. That's a lot of money, but still $500 cheaper than the Galaxy Z Fold 2, as our chat reminded us. And also, this is a card that's faster than NVIDIA's RTX Titan, which typically went, I believe, like $5,000. Like those things went for several $1,000s. So this is a huge leap in performance, and it's going to be vaguely accessible to people who do a lot of video editing and do a lot of content creation. So that's pretty exciting. And what goes well with a good new GPU? How about a brand new CPU? Technically not true, but Intel did tell us the first bunch of its Tiger Lake chip news. And I mentioned this before. They talked about some of the architecture. This week, they showed off some of the actual models we'll be able to get. And these are only for laptops right now. They're not talking about the desktop chips. So I guess that transition doesn't quite work. But these Tiger Lake chips seem very exciting. They've also come up with some new architecture that's super thin transistor technology I talked about before, which basically means they can hit higher clock rates. They can do a lot more. I think in some instances, these chips are, 1 gigahertz faster than they were before.
Whoa, whole gigahertz?
Yeah, gen over gen, which is surprising.
What were they before, like 3 already?
I think before they kind of maxed out around 4 with some of them, but we're seeing now like 4.5 gigahertz. We're seeing really fast designs. Wow. These Tiger Lake chips are for their ultra thins, ultra portables. They're going to be available in the lower power thermal profiles, but they seem pretty exciting. They seem fast, and the new Intel Xe graphics are going to be a huge leap ahead of the Ice Lake graphics we saw last year. They were showing off some stats in games like Gears Tactics. They were getting near 55 FPS with this integrated graphics, whereas in AMD's most recent CPU, GPU, that Ryzen combo was getting around 30 FPS. So, they're doing pretty well, and I think they're really bringing the fight to AT&T. So I'm excited. Yeah, sorry, not AT&T. They're bringing the fight to AMD, not AT&T. God, they're really bringing the fight.
Week, everyone.
I am so tired. They're really bringing the fight, which is really cool. And the other thing too is Intel announced Intel Evo, which is their new 2nd generation branding for Project Athena laptops. So this is actually a sticker you'll be seeing on systems, this fall and into next year. And these describe systems that really just hit all their performance benchmarks for 11th gen chips. So they'll wake from sleep within a second. They will fast charge up to 4 hours within 30 minutes. They'll have 9 hours of real world battery life in 1080p. So I think like all of that is pretty, it's a really easy way to figure out which systems are good, which systems have the best technology. And the thing about Project Athena, we didn't really, they never labeled them. That was the thing they talked about with us, with the media. But I don't think consumers ever learned what Project Athena was, right, Cherlynn?
Just the fact that it's using the name project, it's a code. It seems like it just seemed very uncertain or not confirmed. So it's nice to see that. I mean, the way I read the Evo news was just like, this is our official branding for Athena, and moving forward, you're going to see the word Evo. And for those who are familiar with the Ultrabook branding days, Ultrabook days, this is going to be a similar sort of cue that this is thin and light that you can buy and it'll last long and it'll perform well and all of that stuff. Yeah. So it
reminds me of that, right? Because Ultrabook was a badge. Ultrabook was a big marketing term, and they described a new type of computer, which honestly looked a lot like the MacBook Air. Like that's what Intel was getting to and PCs were getting to. But now these Intel Evo machines are going to be all sorts of different things. Asus announced a new convertible that is like 2.6 pounds, I believe, like pretty fast, super thin, very light, but still with a decent amount of performance. So I do feel like we're getting to a point where, the PCs of our dreams, maybe a Surface-like device that is actually powerful and, can do a lot more. Those things are becoming more of a reality with these chips, right?
I mean, I already found Project Athena laptops super nice looking, and they're very
good.
light already. Yeah. So, I mean, if Evo improves on that, that would be really impressive. But I think if Evo just continues what Athena has been doing, I would be satisfied. Most of them last long enough. Most of them have, again, the designs are great. The performance is decent, pretty reliable. So I think this is good news. Ooh, this is good news for consumers overall.
It's definitely. Yeah.
No, I wanted to ask you really quick on Intel Xe graphics really quickly. You said that the integrated option kit hit 55 FPS. Is there a version of Xe that's discrete, or is it all integrated?
So now we have to like change our language a bit, because Xe is technically discrete tech that's bundled, integrated directly alongside the GPU, similar to how AMD's like whatchamacallit, Radeon stuff works. You know, it's graphics processors right next to the CPU, all in the single core.
On die or something.
Pretty much on die, but there are like the Intel Iris graphics, or their Intel HD graphics. So like basic integrated stuff is still around for some of the cheaper chips, because some companies may put a Tiger Lake chip with an NVIDIA GPU, or even an AMD, like a Radeon GPU. Like there are different ways of configuring these things. So because of that, they have the choice of what kind of Tiger Lake chip they could be doing. And speaking of Xe, we did learn, I think earlier this year too, that Xe graphics, that Xe technology is moving forward into other stuff too, right? They're going to have a dedicated video card next year that you will plug into a PCI slot, and will eventually compete with AMD and NVIDIA stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with that. It's very exciting to be a PC gamer and a PC enthusiast right now, because Intel's going into uncharted territory. These new chips seem very exciting. AMD, now we're looking at AMD as like, what are you going to do, guys? Because normally AMD is the company that's done a good job of combining CPU power and graphics power in a single package. So yeah, there's a lot we don't know. I'm sure AMD is in a corner just like, I would say like biding its time. I'm sure AMD has some major announcements coming. The 4000 series laptop chips we saw this year were pretty fantastic, and we didn't see enough of them actually hit machines. But what was it? I reviewed the ROG G14, and that machine is fantastic, so fast, affordable, and it was an AMD processor together with NVIDIA graphics. Still my favorite gaming laptop of the year. So competition is good. This is the whole point.
I was going to say, exactly. The competition between these chip makers is heating up. I think Intel has felt the pinch or has felt that it's, needing to keep up for a bit now. So I'm glad they're stepping up.
For sure. And listen, like Intel certainly deserves criticism too for its delays. I think they had just recently announced they're not having any 7-nanometer chips until well into probably not even next year, like probably not until 2022. They were late to 10 nanometer, but what they are showing is that they have a mastery of their design and their fabrication. They were able to eke out more performance from the same 10 nanometer process they've been using since last year. So that's, I think that's a big step forward for them. The performance matters at the end more than what, the microns of your chip architecture. If they can get good performance out of 10, that's still good for consumers. Yeah. So I'm down with that. Are you excited about any of these, Sterling? Because I know you've heard of some of these Intel laptops too, right?
Definitely excited to see what the power improvements will be for the laptops. But again, we won't know until these start rolling out. So I'd say stay tuned. But if you have any feels, this is a pretty nerdy topic, I know. But if you, dear listener, have any deep thoughts about the NVIDIA versus Intel chips, send us an email to podcast@engadget.com.
Cool.
I think we could take some questions.
Yeah. Actually, Mark wanted to know what your favorite gaming laptop was. Can you say that
would be the ROG G14, which I reviewed. I gave it like a 90 or above, I believe. So that's the one I recommend to everybody now. Our laptop guide our gaming laptop guide just went out. So go read that. I have a lot of tips about how to buy a gaming laptop, and the ROG is the thing I push for a lot of people.
So none of
and you were working on that for the last several weeks, right?
God, yeah.
The NVIDIA, the RTX 3090 is the one that takes up 3 slots that drains 500 watts. That's not meant to be inside a laptop, is it?
No.
Right.
No, Shirley. No. What?
No, that's a question from the YouTube chat that I wanted to clarify.
No, no, I'm telling you because I like to yell at you, but I'm yelling at you to yell at the chat.
know
No,
it's meant
these are, these are desktop cards, people. These are not laptop cards. We will eventually see the laptop cards with this technology. And in the past, NVIDIA has shown the laptop stuff within like 6 months. So we'll get there, but the laptop stuff is never as fast. So think about that. This is a good time where people start thinking about like external GPU enclosures, which are those little boxes you can get and plug a graphics card in and hook them up to your PC with your notebook with a Thunderbolt port. Maybe that'll get more useful into next year because you're never going to be able to fit the 3090 chip into a laptop, no matter how big that laptop is. So yeah, I think those will probably top out at 3080. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually have a question before we move on. Can you give me like a 2-minute primer on how a lot of these graphics card companies are splitting their business between gamers and like video stuff that they started on and Bitcoin mining?
I don't think the Bitcoin stuff, from what we've seen, I haven't like followed this market too closely, but there was a point a couple of years ago where the Bitcoin miners were basically eating up all the GPU stock. Like they would go to stores, they would buy all the cards, they would like fill up their house with Bitcoin things. And that market crashed. And it crashed hard because people aren't actually getting that much returns from them anymore. So I think we're way past that. Some of these companies have released like cheaper cards that will do the number crunching you'd need for mining, but nobody's really doing that anymore because the money isn't there. Before, the money was actually there to do that. And now like your electricity costs for doing that crunching will outweigh the money you earn from the crunching. So I don't think that's a huge thing. When it comes to video performance, I feel like everyone's juggling, right? They're juggling gaming performance and compute performance in a single GPU. And that's something that's been increasing over the past few years. So any GPU will do, if you're a video editor, will help. If you buy a laptop with a dedicated GPU, you will get some, speed up with rendering times. And I think that's what a lot of people aim for. So that's why I like the ROG G14. But these cards, like, man, that $1,500 3090, I can only imagine, Chris Schott, one of our video producers, like he is chomping at the bit to get into this card because he's a gamer, but also he's producing video for us at Engadget. And I think anybody whose life revolves around chugging through tons of data and, doing a lot of rendering and compute, 3D renderers, even people working in audio will be able to use this stuff in really fascinating ways. So, it's still gaming focused, but I think a lot more companies are paying attention to how people use compute rendering too with GPUs.
I think that's a smart way of doing it. One more thing. Peter in the chat said Intel needs to figure out how to get LTE connectivity in the Core i3 and up chips. What do you have to say about that?
Yep.
I mean, exactly. That's Berlin. Yeah.
100% Intel's way behind on its connectivity. Intel has proven that Intel's still working on its Atom radios. So like, good luck, keep trying. I've heard or seen of PC makers considering combining Intel Power with Snapdragon radios, possibly. I think, but instead of that partnership, actually what looks like it's happening is that Intel's announced is teaming up with MediaTek to try to work on 5G PC tech. So, MediaTek isn't the most, it's not everyone's favorite when it comes to like chipsets. So we'll see. I know that I keep trying to cover MediaTek news, but like our news team's always like, "What? This is too incremental. It's not important enough." I just think that MediaTek's a very good competitor to Qualcomm, but in terms of delivering like high-end stuff in mainstream products, MediaTek's really struggled. So it'll be interesting to see what partnering with Intel does for them. But Intel does really need to step up its own work on it.
They sold their modem business. Don't forget, like a few years ago, we were reporting on Intel's like cellular modem business and everything. That doesn't exist anymore. So they jumped out of that market. They have to partner with people. Another code name I will just throw at you guys is Lakefield, which they announced back in June. Yeah. Right. And this is their newer hybrid chip that's going to combine, normal core, and Atom and an Atom core. So they'll have like a higher powered core and a lower powered core. And I feel like that chip will be something really useful for them to pair LTE or 5G with eventually. for the foreseeable future, it's going to be like a separate modem. It's going to be a separate thing. But those are the laptops where I really expect to see LTE and 5G kind of take off. But even these EVA devices, like, we're going to see a lot of this. Didn't Samsung announce a 5G Flex? That's going to be more and more the thing. Yeah.
The Galaxy Book Flex 5G. I have to say Galaxy Book Flex 5G because there's also the Lenovo Flex 5G.
Oh my God.
Okay, we're getting into IFA stuff here, so let's do IFA.
No, that's not
no
really. But anyway, we can move on.
Okay.
But
maybe I misheard then. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We can get into it in a little bit because we do mention the Samsung Galaxy Book Flex 5G in our podcast section later on that's coming up, but briefly only. I will say that one uses 11th gen Intel chips, so that's very interesting, whereas the current one is 10th gen. But that's a very good point, Peter, about Intel having to step up its LTE business side of things. James Anderson also had a very good point on the chat about the folds. We were talking about like how Mark had a very good point about $500 less than the fold, but he was just trying to say that like he would use James Anderson is saying that he would use the fold more often than he would use an RTX 3090. So like he thinks it's a better.
I mean, you buy those things based on what you need. Exactly. I think that's insane. I think that's absolutely insane, given the amount of work that 3090 could do versus a twiddly folding phone, which is nice to have. And hey.
Look, everyone has their own taste, and we're going to get into that duo versus fold discussion soon enough. But now we got to get back to recording the podcast, y'all.
Okay. I will introduce, and I will let you take it off with some of this news.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody know how to pronounce IFA?
No, we were talking about
I was saying that you should just like try to pronounce it at the beginning. I think that would be funny.
We will give our own pronunciations, and German listeners will cringe.
Hate us.
Okay. Let's move on to news from IFA, which is the annual technology festival in Berlin. What does IFA stand for, Sherlyn? It is the International Funkausstellung Berlin?
Internationale Funkausstellung Berlin. I have no idea. My best friend is, fluent in German and she really hates it when I try.
But anyway, we talk about IFA quite a bit, especially as we get into summer. And let me just tell you, as this year has gone on, all of the Google remember where you were 2 or 3 years ago photos are just like, remember where you were, in another place, not trapped at home in a functioning society. Don't forget about this. Thanks, Google. Yep. But now is the time for IFA. IFA is a huge, huge technology show, and actually bigger than CES, I believe. And it's where a lot of European and Asian companies kind of come together and show us new stuff. Even this year, it's happening virtually, although there is some in-person stuff too. But what have you been seeing, Sherlyn?
So like you're saying, there's a ton of IFA news coming out this week, which kind of boggles my mind because I'm like, y'all, let's not make it happen. But for all of the updates on all of the IFA news this year, you can go to Engadget.com and /tag/IFA 2020 just to get the full breakdown. But companies like TCL, Qualcomm, Lenovo, Samsung, blah, 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 like a whole lot of names have new products to show off. I'll start with TCL because they actually came out with new display technology, which whenever there's a type of new thing, I'm always most intrigued by it. And TCL's made a name and is mostly known for its affordable things. So affordable TV sets, affordable phones, affordable tablets. In fact,
they're the world's biggest TV manufacturer right now because of this.
Exactly. And they've I think maybe been able to get that name by making their sets so good for such a good value price. So this thing that they announced, this IFA, is called TCL's NXTPaper, NXTPAPER, and it basically is a sort of screen technology that's similar to e-ink or e-paper technologies. And what is actually interesting about it is that it can support very high resolutions of up to full HD, as well as support video playback. They haven't shared specifics on a frame rate that they can support, but considering that typical e-ink displays can only refresh really slowly, this is really interesting.
And color e-ink has been a dream they've been chasing forever, and it's just not happening because of that low refresh rate.
And so they promise colors on this thing too. So it'd be magazine paper quality, maybe. So the big benefit of this for what TCL is saying is that they've also filed 11 different patents related to eye protection. They've been certified by TÜV Rhein, I think, some German like standards facilities, and I haven't seen it in action is the problem, right? Like I've only seen a picture of it, and pictures are very misleading, so I don't like to judge off of just pictures. But yeah, the idea is that it reduces light output on the screen, it reduces blue light and flicker, and it's meant for, like, TCL is not trying to put this on a smartphone. They're trying to make tablets and e-readers with this thing, and they're saying that it's like 65% more battery efficient than a typical LCD.
That's cool. Is it flexible at all, or is this just like a flat thing? Okay.
It looks like it's flexible.
Yeah. If you call it paper, I'm thinking flexible paper, but okay.
Right. Yeah, I didn't think of it that way, but I don't know. They didn't say it was flexible, and
so this is LCD based too, right? So would be impossible for it to be flexible. So,
they're also saying it's like a third of the size of a traditional LCD, or a third thinner. I can't remember exactly the comparison, but like so much thinner that you can expect an e-reader made out of this display to be a lot thinner than like your Kindle or something, which are already pretty thin. So I don't know what they're going to make with this, but that was interesting. TCL also had a bunch of, speaking of tablets, they had a bunch of other news. I'll quickly just shout them out. I mean, they made a Tab Mid and a Tab Max, basically Android tablets for cheap. You can also get the Galaxy Tab A something, but if you want something even cheaper that is not bad at all, the TCL tablets could be for you. They also announced true wireless earbuds that, honestly, the only thing I can really say about them is that they seem really freaking cheap.
Yeah, everybody has true wireless. I mean, if you go to Amazon now, you will find Anker true wireless earbuds for $50, sometimes even less. So, hey, it's cheap. It's out there. Yeah.
So these are 99 euros. They promise, like, they have this design called Super Ellipse that they, are saying is going to fit more comfortably in your ear. They don't have active noise canceling, but they have electronic noise canceling, which okay. And they're IP54, so you can sort of wear them while jogging or something if you're sweating. So I don't know, another option for y'all. And yeah, some other news like a wearable for seniors. So that's TCL's news. Every company had its own big dump of news like that. So that's TCL's.
That's a good way to describe it, because that's what it felt like was happening all week. It's just like vomiting news. That NVIDIA vomited all its news in 30 minutes. And Intel did it pretty quickly too. And then, all this IFA stuff just feels like it keeps coming at us. You spent a lot of time talking with Qualcomm, Sherlyn. I know how much you love them as a company. Yeah. They're your favorites. They're your BFFs. Come on.
Yo, it's one thing to like the people who work there, and another to like, and also recognize that they do a lot for the mobile industry.
Sure.
And to say that I love them is a bit difficult. I just cover them a lot. I know their workings pretty well. So Qualcomm also had somewhat of a news dump for IFA, which, by the way, I really enjoy tackling all this IFA news dumps while two major shows are going on. Anyway. But yes, so Qualcomm announced the let's get through the less arresting stuff first. There's some audio updates. There's some new updates to its acoustic audio processor technology that improves its noise cancellation and echo cancellation features. You can read the details on Engadget.com. I left that to our audio expert Billy Steele to take care of, so I don't know all the details there. They've also announced Snapdragon 400 series chipset, which is entry-level chipset, but with 5G support. So that does mean that we can expect even cheaper phones with 5G soon. But what I tackled of the Qualcomm stuff, which is something fully in my wheelhouse, is the Snapdragon 8cX Gen 2. Very straightforward naming there. This is the follow-up to 2018's Snapdragon 8cX, which was the ARM-based processor that Qualcomm made for PCs. So this will be Windows on Snapdragon. And as we've talked about on this podcast before, Windows on Snapdragon, oh boy. But they're trying again. And what's really interesting about Windows on Snapdragon for me is, or about the Gen 2 8cX, is that when you talk about actual power improvements, there's none. There's no clock speed jumps. There's no increased RAM.
It's pretty bold. What have you guys changed this year? Nothing. Deal with it.
I was having a hard time making sense of the press release because I was like, And the video that I watched, because they would not call out performance improvements at all.
Also, so it's the same model number as before. It's the 8CX. It's just 8CX Gen 2. What is Gen 2 about it?
So it has better AI support. It will offer faster processing of certain things. Like there's this eye contact feature on the Surface Pro X that the original 8CX also supported, where the webcam can see if you're looking at the camera itself, or what, so it looks like you're making eye contact during your video conference, and then alert you to look up. But there's also two more things AI wise that the 8CX Gen 2 enables, which is something called Loom.ai. They've partnered up to do this avatar replacement thing in real time. So like if you're doing a Zoom call and you're super burned out, or you have like an outbreak of hives or something, and you don't want to have your real person appear, you can replace yourself in the Zoom call with an avatar, with a digital Samsung or Animoji like avatar, and have your facial.
It's only a matter of time until this happened, right?
Yeah. Right. We're fully replaced with avatars now. So, so I saw a quick demo pre-recorded of this person, Cristiano Amon, who is the Qualcomm president. He made like facial expressions while he was talking, and an avatar matched his expressions like exactly. So that was great. That's just like funny. It's not like incredibly useful, I don't think.
That sounds cool. That does not match the terrifying thing I remember seeing at the Oculus Connect event last year, which was people wearing Oculus headsets, and they had 3D mapped those people's faces. So we were looking at 3D models of their faces being perfectly captured while they were wearing headsets. So we are getting to some weird, wild spaces when it comes to digital avatars. Yeah.
I can't wait. But the last AI thing about the Gen 2 is that Qualcomm has teamed up with Sophos, a security firm, to provide AI-based security that detects threats 7 times faster than existing systems. So that's good news, because they really want the 8CX Gen 2 or these Snapdragon PCs to really be enterprise machines too. So that's some of the AI updates. There's also support for Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.1, up from the previous generation, which is 2 years ago, which is nice. So like Qualcomm, my gosh, today. Qualcomm is positioning this as taking on the likes of an Intel Core i5. I think more of a lower end Core series, and they keep calling out performance improvements over those systems. So it's like they were like, oh, we're 18% more performant than an 10th generation Intel Core i5, and I was like, okay, but tell me how much better than last year's or last generation, and they can't say it. So 8CX Gen 2, interesting. Windows and Snapdragon's not going anywhere soon, but what was interesting to me is that Microsoft Chief Product Officer Panos Panay was also made an appearance on Qualcomm's briefing video, because he wasn't done making appearances. The funny thing was, in this video, he said something like, because him and Cristiano Amon were having a conversation, and Cristiano was like, oh, congratulations on the launch of your super fascinating Surface Duo. And
powered by Qualcomm hardware. Yeah.
Powered by Qualcomm. Exactly. And then Panos was like, yeah, thank you for the collaboration. Well, and then he tries to segue, and his segue was this. He goes, I'm very passionate about the Duo, but I'm even more passionate about Snapdragon PCs. And I was like, are you? Because I was
if he was Windows on ARM, would be a lot better, right? So.
Well, here's what he then announced, right? So Microsoft or Panos on that briefing announced that Microsoft is going to move the App Assure program over to Snapdragon PCs or their Snapdragon customers. So App Assure is something that Microsoft launched, or at least App Assure for desktop is something Microsoft launched around 2018, I think, or 2016, to help move apps from Windows 7 to Windows 10. Mm-hmm. And app compatibility is always a hugely important issue for any sort of, especially because they were retiring support for Windows 7. So they promised that you can work with a Microsoft engineer to resolve any app compatibility issues until it is resolved. So like they're going to be with you until you can get app compatibility issues resolved.
Let me just say, this could technically solve the greatest problem we've had with every Windows on ARM device, which is that the apps just don't work. A lot of things are running in either emulation or don't run at all. So it's typically a bad experience. This could be pretty cool. I feel like as we talk about App Assure, I can certainly feel all our listeners falling to the sleep. So what is your big takeaway, Shalyn? Because whenever I brought this up to people before, nobody's super interested, but this could be big, right?
I will say that like Windows and ARM and Windows and Snapdragon have been very have had a troubled history, I guess, and maybe this will help. So the big news of the 8CX Gen 2 is that Microsoft is going to support Apple for Snapdragon.
Yay! We'll see, because we both tested the Surface Pro X. I believe that's what it was, the super thin, super well-designed Surface that had great hardware, but apparently craps our software support. So I would love for devices like that to be more realistic. What if we heard from Samsung at eFoc? I feel like they had a ton of stuff.
I want to cry because Samsung had a Z Fold 2 event on Tuesday, and then they had a live Unstoppable event yesterday for its IFA news. And we know Samsung's a giant conglomerate. It makes refrigerators, TVs, and all that. They make
everything.
Yeah. So the live Unstoppable event was supposed to be mostly home entertainment focused, but Samsung, for the love of God, was like, no, here's some more gadgets from the mobile side. So it announced also the Galaxy Fit 2, or I don't know if it's Galaxy actually, it's just Fit 2, Galaxy A42 5G, which is an affordable 5G phone, a Galaxy Tab A7, a Flex laptop with 5G, a Galaxy Book Flex with 5G. So that's a lot of things that you can go and look at Engadget.com for the.
And I believe that's an Intel Evo device too, the Flex 5G. So there's a lot going on there. So all of those are interesting products, and the main takeaway for me about Samsung's news is that in a week where they launch something that's a $2,000 phone, they also released a bunch of things in the A series, which is their everything but the flagship series, right? So mid-range and entry level. So the Galaxy A42 5G we reached out to Samsung for a comment on pricing. They haven't said anything, but a lot of sites are calling this possibly their cheapest 5G phone yet. And that's important because Samsung's cheaper phones are still really good. At least on displays and on cameras, right, compared to the others. So that's exciting. I think the Tab A7 being a cheaper Android tablet compared to the Tab S7 Plus is also a nice option for people who are looking for something better than a Fire HD or something. Mm-hmm. So I like that. I like that Samsung is like, okay, we did a $2,000 phone, but here are some things that might cost a lot less. I mean, that's been their thing for a while too, because they're one of the last Android companies left making tablets. Everybody else has kind of given up on it. So they have cheap phones, they have cheap tablets. It is, hey, that's good. That's something, even though we make fun of their model numbers and prices. What's up?
I wouldn't say they're one of the last companies making Android tablets, because who else announced Android tablets this week? My dear friends at Lenovo. First of all, the Galaxy Tab A7 is Samsung's, affordable Android tablet. And then we had TCL making its Tab Mid and Tab Max. Lenovo came through announcing Monday some new Android tablets as well. What's interesting here is that Lenovo in the past when they've made, or in the recent past when they've made Android tablets, they've been like slightly cheaper. They're more like in the $500 price range. They have interesting kickstands built in and that sort of stuff. But this time around, they've gone full like, let's take on freaking the Tab S7 Plus with our P11 Pro. I believe that's the name. It was Monday. It was a lifetime ago. I can't remember the actual name now, but I think it was the P11 Pro. And yeah, it's going to have a keyboard accessory. It's going to be able to support a stylus and stuff like that. It's a high-end Android tablet from Lenovo, and it's competition for Samsung, which is a good thing. You can see all the details again on Engadget.com, but Lenovo also announced something that I covered called the Smart Clock Essentials, which is
that looks really cute. Let me just say, I really like Lenovo's accessory things, like their smart display. They're fun. I like them.
I love Lenovo's Smart Home Play. They've made a lot of good, affordable devices in that space. The smart clock from last year or 2 years ago was really, I liked it. I have one in my bedroom, but the Smart Clock Essentials is like $20 cheaper. So it's a $50 smart clock, and it's basically a bedside clock with assistant built in. So for me, initially when I was being pitched this, I was like, why can't I just go to Amazon and buy a $20
right
clock, right? But then the whole thing is that this is a Google Assistant device too. So you can also speak to it and ask it to turn on your lights and like set routines that include this device. So there's a little bit more to it than just a bedside clock. So I guess it's nice to have it's just pretty super basic if you didn't like that $70.
No, I kind of dig this, and it doesn't have a camera, it doesn't have a screen properly, right? So
yeah, again with the smart clock series, there's no camera, and the screen to like dim at night too, so it's just like less intrusive and less like like gadget mania in your bedroom or something.
It feels like we had mastered alarm clock technology, and then with all these smart devices, it feels like we took weird steps all over the place. So yeah, I would totally buy one of these.
I know. I can't wait to get one in and like see if I like it, because I need a new one. And it has much bigger LED font too this time around to show the time, so you can see from further away, which is nice. But that's not all the IFA news. We still have more, but I'm going to just leave you guys with one more that stood out to me this week, which was ZTE. Remember them? They're back with they've never really fully gone away. They've still been releasing Axon phones, which is their flagship line. And honestly, way back in the day, Axon was a very well-known phone series, or well-loved anyway. They announced the Axon 20 5G. The Axon 20 is not a newish phone. We've heard of the Axon 20 before, but the Axon 20 5G is this year's announcement for IFA from ZTE. And the really big thing about it, at least to me and Chris Velasco anyway, is that it has an under-display camera, which is really cool. We've seen other Chinese filmmakers make something like this before.
Does that mean there is no like actual hole in the display for it, or how does that work? Because you would still need space for the camera to sit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't think there's an actual hole, but I can't tell you off the top of my head.
Sure.
But I would check out Engadget.com again for just like all of the information on all of the news. Again, Engadget.com/tag/IFA 2020 is where you can get caught up on all of this virtual IFA news. And there's still a lot of stuff from PC makers and still more stuff coming up. We need to take a break soon. But for now, send us your thoughts on all of these IFA news as well, whether it's on Twitter or on email.
Cool. I think we're running low on time, so we should just barrel into the next section.
Just barrel through working on and picks, so we have time for Velasco when he comes in.
Yep. So let's move on to what we're working on. As you can see, many things this week. I will say upcoming, I am trying to figure out how to review the Logitech Herman Miller chair combo, which I'm sitting in right now. It feels fantastic, but I don't know how you review. It's like, it makes my back feel good and my butt doesn't hurt anymore. 10 stars, 10 out of 10 review. I'm trying to figure that out. I'm also testing out a hot upcoming gadget that I think people will be excited to learn about in a couple of weeks. So this is the busy period. I feel like everybody right now is working on reviews for major upcoming devices that, our readers will be excited about. So I love September because it's busy, but it's also like when the new stuff starts happening. October is when it starts shipping. And also I'm still gearing up for November when we get the new consoles and all that fun stuff. And also the elections and all. We have so much to look forward to and so much to be worried about. Sherlyn, what are you working on?
In addition to all of that stuff that I've been spending this podcast telling you guys about and trying to stay alive, I'm also working on 2 major reviews in the background. I don't
think you're busy enough, Sherlyn. Like if there's one thing I would say about you, it's that you just don't work enough. Okay.
Shout out to our regular listener, Jonathan Medina, who tweeted and replied to one of my tweets yesterday saying that, how do you get so much done? You guys do live streams, conventions, review things, write for the site, take all these briefings. I'm like, oh my gosh, someone understands what it's like. Like, a review isn't just writing it, it's testing, taking photos, shooting videos, writing scripts, and then writing the review copy, putting it in the CMS, getting it. So it's a lot of work for one major review, and I'm doing 2 at the same time this week, which is just someone throw me one of those float ring things. What is it called? A
life preserver. You wouldn't know what it's called because
my brain's broken. My brain is broken.
That's the title of the episode. Our brains are broken.
Let's go straight into picks then.
Okay. And now for our pop culture picks. One thing I want to shout out now is that hey, The Legend of Korra is back on Netflix, and it actually never was on Netflix. So Netflix is now the place where anybody can go and with a hit of a button go see Korra. I think before it was on CBS All Access. This is the sequel series to Avatar: The Last Airbender, which we know was a huge hit on Netflix. So good timing for them, and just have to say, this show is perfect. I love it so much. If you're a fan of anime, if you liked The Last Airbender, and maybe you want to see a twist on that, world that's a little more mature with older characters, it's fantastic. And also, I will say, no joke, some of the best action choreography in anything, but certainly within animated shows, like the way they use their spirit powers, it's sometimes gets to be a little Dragon Ball Z, but it's also like fun, great, just great martial arts in there too. So as an action fan, I really dig it. And also as somebody who loves 2D animation, like the show has done some incredible stuff. I love that it exists. I love that it's so easily accessible now. You can hear me talk more about it on Republic City Dispatch, which is a podcast I've been doing with some friends of mine and podcast luminaries like Joanna Robinson, Dave Gonzalez, and Matt Patches. That just Google Republic City Dispatch. I believe that is under the Fighting in the War Room domain now, but we're doing some recap episodes of every individual season. But 8 years ago, we actually reviewed every single episode of this show. So it's so weird. You live long enough to see your early podcast be relevant again. So we're kind of reviving that feed, adding some new retrospectives. Go check out some of our early reviews too. I love this show so much. Cherlynn, I think you would love it because you dig martial arts. Yeah.
I don't know how many times I would tell you I don't really watch a lot of animated works, but
maybe you should. You should instead of bad sci-fi.
Wow. I will shout out Archer is one of my favorite animated series that I will keep going back to.
I like Archer, but I will also say barely animated. Come on.
It's not. It's super.
It's the like stilted Cartoon Network style of animation. But yeah, what have you been watching? What do you want to highlight this week?
Because I took a break last week, I was able to watch some stuff. This week I haven't, but I spent last week trying to watch as much stuff as I could so I could recommend for this podcast. And I still love Lovecraft Country. It's still really good. I mean, the third episode that I saw, yeah. I mean,
the second episode was kind of a mess. Like I feel like it's going all over the place.
I liked it a lot. I loved the second episode. Yeah. It just kind of ran like a wild horse.
It certainly ran like a wild horse.
The third episode was also very good. It's a good mix of science fiction and like how it sucks to be a Black person in that era. Mm-hmm. But I also watched earlier, and I want to recommend this earlier, but I kind of forgot. Project Power. It's on Netflix, and it's been number one on like Netflix for a while, but I only just got around to like telling y'all about it. It's not like, it has a very interesting premise where like basically people can be super juiced up for about like 10 minutes or 15 minutes
with a drug, right?
With the drug. It's very Lucy like, in that a lot of other films have tackled this idea.
I think more like Limitless, which was the thing, which also had like the drug with becoming your super powered self. Yeah,
it was that one too, which is now a TV series. But the premise is there, but the characters are, I think, very interesting. I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I liked all of the different actors in it as well. I saw some criticism of this show saying that it doesn't really make full use of the premise. And I agree, but it looks like there's room for a sequel, so hopefully we get to see that explored a little further. I like the idea that different people react differently to the pill, so
it's very much a Netflix movie. I'd say like it reminds me of like, hey, here's a cool premise, and we don't like set any of this up really well. Like we don't really massage this narrative in a good way. But yeah, the idea of, hey, you could get one superpower with this drug, or you could die. Like there are consequences to it. The special effects in this movie are really good, right? Like it looks fantastic.
It does look really good. Mm-hmm. It's just a good escape for like when you want something not super thinky, and you just want to check out people like hurling weird shit at each other, I guess. But my real recommendation, because I try to find something that people don't always know of, this week is a Korean film called The Witch: Subversion. I don't know if you've seen that, Devendra.
I've heard a lot of things about it. Yeah, people are like buzzing about this movie.
It is pretty good. It's a part one of what's meant to be, I think, a trilogy, but it's not clear what the filmmakers plan to do with it yet. It is also science fiction. It's Korean, and similar to a lot of Korean films we've talked about on this show, it's about a sort of underdog-ish story, but it's about sort of genetically enhanced or sort of like nurture versus nature type of superheroes. Is won a bunch of awards. And I can't remember offhand the names of everyone involved with this movie, but I found it very good. Like the acting, as always, is very good. There are some twists that I won't reveal for you, but it's got a lot of very good action. It's got very engaging plot that I found myself like stuck to the screen. It's very rare that I'm stuck to the screen throughout a show nowadays. So Devendra, you should check this one out.
I'll check it out. It looks super cool. Did you ever see The Villainous, by the way?
No, what is it?
Random drop. Ladies and gentlemen, The Villainous, perhaps one of the craziest action movies of the last few years. Just, Sherlyn, go look up the first 10 minutes of The Villainous. It will, kick your butt. It is fantastic. It's so much fun. It's also like Korean action meets melodrama at some point too. Like it is both things, which is, I don't like one part of it, but I love the action part of it. So recommend that to everybody too.
Yeah. So there you go. Lots of things to check out this weekend if you need a break.
All right.
Okay.
I will let me do the wrap up way to give you a break, Sherlyn.
Sure.
Yeah. Because we have a few minutes to do that too. So folks, we are going to just be closing out the show, but we are going to be recording the next segment with the Galaxy Z Fold 2 after this. So, it's just a little out of order. Bear with us.
It's a false end is what it is.
It's a false end. Yeah.
Yeah, we're about to record the outro, but after the outro, we can talk directly to you guys on the stream very soon. Thank you.
Cool. All right, let's wind down. Well, that's it for this week on the Engadget podcast. Thanks so much for joining us. Our theme music is by game composer Dale North. Our outro music is by our very own managing editor, Terrence O'Brien. The podcast is produced by Ben Ellman. You can find me online at Devendra, and I podcast about movies and TV at the /filmcast at /film.com. And Sherlyn, where can we find you?
If you want to find me whining about how much work I have to do, I'm at Sherlyn Lowe on Twitter.
When Sherlyn should be working and not tweeting, that is definitely where you can find her. Email us at podcast@engadget.com. Leave us a review on iTunes and subscribe on anything that gets podcasts, including Spotify.
All right.
Cool.
So let's talk about
perfect timing, everybody.
Chat-tings.
We've got some time to talk about chat stuff. Yay. The Korean movie name is The Witch: Subversion. I wonder if you can throw that up on the screen.
When we were talking about that during a production meeting, I was under the impression that this was like a recut or like a director's cut of the A24 movie, The Witch.
Yeah, the Eggers movie, yeah.
Because I thought like, oh, it's a subversion? Like
a subversion of New England horror in Korea.
It's really, I hope they make more of this because it's pretty cool. The girl has powers.
I like the trailer.
Yeah.
Well, let me just tell you, everybody, The Villainous, come on. Just play, because all the action scenes are on YouTube right now too, and they actually lifted a lot of those ideas into John Wick 3. But it kicks so much butt, man. Yeah.
I mean, look. There have been a lot of Asian violent fighting films for a while now. Like we have
so here's the thing. I've seen them all. I know and The Villainous is one where I was like, whoa, you are doing first person action in a way I've never seen before. It's wild. Yeah. First person action.
Oh, FPV. I see.
Yeah.
I saw that
ninjas and motorcycles with blades. It's fun. So
okay,
fun.
So I think, like, judging from the trailer now, since I'm looking at it, I can tell it's like based on what the filmmaker's doing is interesting, right? The way they're shooting it is interesting. How's the plot?
Yeah. It's bad.
So going back to
that's what I mean.
Hey. What's up?
Back to the chat, I'm seeing some people, like one person said, I wish Android devs would put more effort into tablet apps and not make them just a swole phone app.
That's Google's fault, man. We need to have a whole episode about this because, What's up, Sherlyn? What do you think?
It's partly, I've wrestled with this a little bit because I've been covering a lot of Android tablets lately. It's partly Google's fault for...
It's all Google's fault. Come on.
Well, no, but some apps like Instagram refuse to update their apps to work better on
because it's been 10 years since Android tablets have been around, and there is no market for them. So everyone's like, why should I do this work for these devices that don't exist? But Google should have supported it earlier.
Argument. You make the software better, more people make it, or you make it better, the software will improve. Like it's hard to. It's hard.
I don't think it's hard to say that 10 years after those, like, as the platform maker, it is your job to like grow things. And nourish
again,
things.
I have criticized Android repeatedly as a terrible tablet OS for a while now. And Google has tried to do things like combine Chrome with Android to make a sort of like desktop and tablet OS. Look, they've tried and nothing's really worked. I think Android isn't the best OS for like productivity, multitasking, or things that tablets are nowadays used more for. So we'll see. But with this collaboration with Microsoft to build in productivity stuff into the UI for things like the Duo or the Fold, hopefully we'll see better Android for big.
I think it wasn't a good sign when they gave up on the Nexus tablets. Like that's the thing. Like if Google itself is not producing Android tablets, why the hell should anybody else, right?
Oh, V is here. But to finish up your point, Dev, Google itself did give up on the Android tablet game. It did say that it was no longer making Google tablets, still making Chromebooks. I don't know. Yeah, I think you're right on that front. I'm still curious why people make Android tablets, but people still buy them too.
Well, because they're the only successful Android tablets, right, are the Kindle, the Amazon Fire devices, because they're cheap. They're super cheap, and Amazon can keep pumping ads to them too to like really subsidize that price. So
and also the Samsung tablets as well. Speaking of tablets, really quickly, not to step on Ben's toes, but also e-ink. We're getting a lot of people hype about the color e-ink and saying that the color
it's not color e-ink. It's not color e-ink. Yeah,
I was actually curious about that because like, what is the end goal for all of e-ink things? Is it really just like Harry Potter newspapers with like little cinemagraphs?
I don't know if that's the end goal, and I have to differentiate between e-ink and TCL's version, which is next paper. But I know that TCL was saying that they're focusing this around learning. So whether it's for kids or for adults who are just trying to do learning related stuff, but not strain their eyes so much. That's why there's such a focus on the eye protection patent.
And I could tell you about e-ink too, because I think a couple years ago we covered a huge color e-ink display, and they're like store signage. That's what we're really excited about. And it kind of makes sense because it's actually really hard for stores to go around and like update all their ads and all their flyers and everything. So if you had a digital way of just, updating the entire store, that could be useful. But yeah, it's a shame. I want
screens is that burn is pretty bad sometimes if you're like not refreshing it often enough. Someone in the chat, Jogbird, I think, says it looks like a transflective LCD used for outdoor LCD displays where each subpixel is a mirror. That's correct. There is no backlight of these things. It is reflecting natural light.
That's good.
Yeah. So
okay, are we ready to talk about the Z Fold 2?
I will throw it to you guys when you guys
Velasco,
Hello, V.
Okay.
You're here? You sound good?
I'm here.
We're all framed up.
Do we need to do a level check for Chris? Okay.
Okay.
And just going through the rest of the things really quickly. Yep. Y'all, you keep leaving the great comments in the chat, and we might not be able to respond to all of them, but y'all can interact with each other, and we're looking at all of them. So the nice things you say, we see and appreciate. The criticism we will take when fair. Did I ever
or
get
not at all?
Milk sponsor? Oh my gosh, I never did. How dare they?
Oh no. Okay, so just so you know, live stream, we are going back in time to basically record the first segment of the show. So it's going to sound a little weird, but we're not going to talk about anything we've already mentioned. Don't. Sherlyn has one Surface Duo.
Oh.
Come on.
Hey, pal.
Put phone on head.
Let's
Put
make
phone
them,
on head.
Can we make them touch?
Can you unfold one and unfolding one opens the other? Okay, are we good to go?
Okay. Yeah. I'm getting distracted.
Wow.
That's what happens when me and V get on a show, okay?
I know, it's bad. Our pre-show is just like 20 minutes of
chit-chat.
Total
Get with it, people. Come on.
All right.
Got the Z Fold 2? We good?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's kick things off by talking about the phone everybody has really been waiting for this year. The second generation of Samsung's big folding devices is Galaxy Z Fold 2. And we have Chris Velasco, our mobile editor, here to chat about it. Chris, how's it going?
Hey, thanks for having me. It's been hours since I've spoken to you people.
Gosh, I hate talking to you so much. No, I'm kidding.
I know. She's dropping that real stuff like really early on.
We're just all tired of each other. This is how it goes. But
this week has been insane.
What can you talk about, Chris? Like, what is up with the Z Fold 2?
So just to be clear for everyone watching and or listening to this, unlike the situation that we had when we unboxed a Surface Duo that we could not turn on, which really just involved two grown men fondling a phone and talking about said phone for like 45
minutes. Listen, I'm very proud of that because that is exactly my brand of just geeking out over things. For
we got an amazing shot of you sliding that into your pocket.
Into my pocket. By the way, so yeah, we did not have a podcast last week, but we did record this hands-on on
live
YouTube of the Surface Duo. We can't turn it on, but go check that out. Galaxy Z Fold 2, though. What's going on there?
So this is obviously the second generation Galaxy Fold, and just right off the bat, I mean, I've been using this since we unboxed it. I don't even know how many days ago because time has no meaning anymore. Yeah. But just like in terms of hardware, literally every issue that I had with the original Galaxy Fold has been more or less fixed here. There are some things that, you know, are very much matters of taste that I don't know how I feel about. There's like this very interesting like ridged brush pattern along the edges of the phone that kind of make weird grindy sounds when you like sort of prop it up on a table. But generally, I love this phone. I'm also really quickly reminded of the fact that there's a reason I didn't buy the first one.
Yes. Well, because you're a sane human being, even though you make insane gadget purchases sometimes, Chris.
You know what?
Even you did not buy that.
Anymore, though. I really
you used to. That's your brand.
It is my brand.
Yeah.
What's really been interesting for me as just like a person living through COVID is that, and this very well may be like a thing that's specific to us since we just have so much stuff laying around, but I don't think it is. Like because we're spending so much of our time at home, like we're always within arm's reach of like a laptop or a desktop or a TV. Like the need for a gigantic screen with you all of the time is, for me at least, a fraction of what it used to be. So immediately, like, this thing is an absolutely beautiful device. It is a feat of engineering for sure. And it's one that I personally can't imagine needing for a good couple years at least now.
Yep. I was like, everyone was super hype about this. I'm like, I still don't need a tablet just yet. Like, I have been spending some time with a Duo, I think I can say that. And I can't talk much about my impressions about it, but I'm struggling to find the situation where like a phone can't do what I need it to do, and I need like a bigger interface, but we'll see. I don't know. The Z Fold 2 also has a similar proposition, right, V?
Yeah, and like the one thing I use the Fold, and I thought I would be using the Z Fold 2 for is, you know, I take the subway to the office back when there was an office to go to, and like it's Devendra can attest to this. Like it's a good like 30 minutes roughly on that subway.
By the way, because V and I used to live in the same neighborhood, that is a fast subway ride compared to what a lot of people in New York have to go through. So,
for sure.
30 minutes.
So 30 minutes, which again, definitely not the worst, but also maybe not the best. I used to be able to count on just like going in the morning and like cracking open a book and reading something on a full size screen. And then I could just sort of close it up when I got to my stop and had to switch it and throw it in my pocket. And that by far was my favorite thing to do with the Fold. It was a really like the metaphor worked of like folding your book and like closing your book and folding the Fold. And now I don't take the subway anymore. So it's been really weird. Like I've been having the most fun using this big sort of external display, which, you know, the big knock against the original Galaxy Fold was that you got a screen that was maybe, you know, 2/3 the size of this thing wedged in the middle of it.
Was 4.6 inch, yeah.
It looked ridiculous, and it was largely unusable. You could use it to frame up selfies or something, or like really quickly respond to a text if you hated yourself. But like this by itself is perfectly usable.
It's another phone. It's another phone on top of your folding phone.
Yeah, like I would buy this phone.
I think you can. I think it's called the Galaxy S20. Come on.
Well,
no.
It's the Xperia One.
Yeah, it's like the Xperia, or like the Essential Gem before Essential went.
You would buy that very long phone.
Okay. I think so, because I mean I'm sure you guys have heard this too, but at least in the conversations I've had with device makers, like they're starting to see a pretty pronounced shift in what people want out of their devices. And for some companies, it's they want bigger screens sort of that are more available to them, and that's why foldables kind of make sense. And for others, it's like, well, the need for an omnipresent big screen is less for our users. So we're moving in a direction where you get this sort of smaller screen all of the time. So I think we're starting to see a really interesting like buy or trifurcation in like the approaches people are taking to phone designs. And this is like a very maximal phone design. Like this is the most it's the most extra phone. So I was going to say it's the Sherlin phone, but I feel like that's kind of I feel like that's I hesitated. Wanted to be a good person.
But yeah, before we keep going on down this very dangerous slippery slope, let's, for our listener, I know we've talked a lot about this device this week, so V and I can feel like we're rehashing some stuff, but let's take a step back for our listener and explain kind of what the price point for this is and also what are the specs they can expect.
Oh, sorry, you just broke up real bad there. So I'm assuming you asked about the specs and everything.
Specs and price, yeah.
So this is a $2,000 smartphone, which admittedly sounds terrible. I think the original Galaxy Fold went on sale for $1,980. So it was basically a $2,000 phone. But for me, at least, and we talked about this a bit with Ben, our producer, yesterday, just the crossing the mental threshold of going from a device that costs $1,000 and several $100s to $2,000.
No thanks.
Like, I very much do not like that. And the thing that kind of gets me is we'll get to the phone itself in just a sec. But I do have to point out, because our live stream audience when we were unboxing thing was very sort of adamant about it. You know, back when you bought a $1,980 Galaxy Fold, you at least got like a bunch of stuff to kind of like ease you into it, right? Like you were very clearly a well-heeled beta tester for this phone, but at least you got like Galaxy Buds, you got a case, you got like a decent assortment of stuff that you can start using with the phone right off the bat. You get none of that here. So you don't get headphones of any kind. You basically
Samsung has to save money, okay, guys?
You get a charger.
You think headphones grow on trees?
You get a SIM ejection tool, and you get a couple pieces of paper saying, you know, don't drink coffee near the phone.
Is it at least a metal SIM ejection tool, or is it plastic?
Yeah,
it is metal. Have you?
Man.
I don't think I've ever seen a plastic SIM.
Yeah,
I've seen them. I've seen some out around.
No thanks. But yeah, so aside from that, we are looking at a fully, flagship device. It's got a trio of 12 megapixel cameras around the back. It uses the Snapdragon 865 Plus chipset, which I believe for maybe the first time, Samsung isn't doing any kind of differentiation between the model that we're seeing in the US versus elsewhere. Because
I'm sure their engineers were just like, we're tired, guys. Could you just pick one chip?
We're so tired, and also like I don't like being hated by people because that's the thing about the Exynos chip. If you're tuned into like the geekier parts of the internet where people have and in sort of international markets as well, where you get Samsung phones with Exynos chips versus the Snapdragons that we get in the US, there tends to be a pretty significant performance difference. Like people just don't like Samsung's chips, and yet Samsung keeps shoving them down people's throats. But this is the first time, and I guess it sort of makes sense because they're asking so much money for it, that you do kind of get that no compromise experience no matter where you live.
I wanted to quickly point out that like people on the live stream also told us during our unboxing that the headphones may not come in the box, but apparently you can just request a set from Samsung and they'll give it to you. So it's not like you're really, I think, cheating you, although it's just a lot less convenient, especially during the pandemic time.
They're cheating you because they know a fraction of the people who buy this phone are upset enough.
And also, what do you get when you request? Do you get the crappy wired ones, or do you get actually buds or something?
Is it by AKG? And you don't get like actual like wireless earbuds. You're just like wired ones, I believe. The other thing I also wanted to point out for people who regularly have listened to this podcast is that I need to eat some real humble pie here because I've been giving y'all the wrong price for the original Galaxy Fold for very long. I've kept saying
for months,
for so long because you know why? Because that was the price of the Huawei Mate X, and then that was $2,300, and then Lenovo has a foldable laptop tablet thing that was north of $2,500, I think. Again, not entirely sure because my brain's mush.
Let me just say, I blame Sherlyn entirely for this. So please yell at her.
Fully responsible. I will need to eat stuff. Just I apologize for that mistake. The original Fold was 1980, not 2300, like I've been going on about.
I have a question though. Like V, how do you feel about what? I assume you go outside occasionally. How do you feel about having a $2,000 phone? Because to me, I just feel like the more expensive my phones are, the more anxiety I have about dropping it, losing it, having it stolen, opening it at, in public, anything really.
Well, for me, and especially for me, because I review like a lot of expensive phones, like for the review period, like I do occasionally drop it, not because I mean to, but just because I'm a total klutz as a human being. But in general, I do my best to baby these things because I know they're going back to a company at some point, and I really don't want to have to pay for something that I don't even get to keep. Once I sort of cross the threshold, if I buy a phone, for instance, even if it's, I use iPhones fairly frequently, and I've been using an iPhone 11 Pro Max, and that is itself like a pretty expensive phone. I'm very careful for like, I don't know, 6 months to a year. Then after that, it's like, whatever happens to this thing happens, like,
because you secretly just want to upgrade after a year. So
yes,
that's what happens.
But like walking around with a device like this, which is just so well built, like it's a constant reminder physically of just how premium this thing is. And this has come up on a couple of the live things that we've done so far, but I generally wear like really tight jeans, and which frequently means that the only comfortable place to put a phone like this is in my back pocket. So in the few times that I have gone out with this in my back pocket, I do feel like the world's worst person.
And also I have to tell people in New York, like, especially when people are on the subways, like the back pocket is literally the worst place for your smartphone. Cause I've definitely seen people like walk through the subway, creep around and just see like who has like an unchecked smartphone, where they're standing by the door and they can just like grab that phone and keep running. So I understand. It's tough if you don't have front pockets. It's tough for women especially, but yeah, tight jeans. It's hard out there. Be careful with back pocket phones. Yeah.
I'll just say it's really hard to be V's friend. Like,
well, just in general. Come on.
God, I'm never doing the podcast again. Jesus.
But I mean it in the way that like you have to be in general just concerned for yourself. But when you're hanging out, you're also like, V, can you please not sit on that thing? Or like, can you please?
No. That's an unfounded concern. Your phones are fine. They'll be fine.
It's hard to be your friend when you like randomly return a phone like with a shattered front to me. And I'm like,
I know exactly the situation you're thinking of.
Wow.
That was me and Mike, our social media producer. That was a joint collaboration of failure. We were shooting in a gadget today. He threw me a phone, like like flash it and make my point. But then I didn't catch it because I'm not physically well coordinated. Sorry.
It's really hard to be your friend. But anyway, back to the Z Fold 2. Any thoughts more than what we've seen? I mean, we haven't gotten any real life time with the Tom Brown edition, by the way, right?
No, which is totally fine by me because that thing is ugly. So for the people who don't know, the Tom Brown edition is you pay $3,300 and you get a silver Galaxy Z Fold 2 with like an Aquafresh red, white, and blue stripe running down the back. You get the new Galaxy Watch. You get the Galaxy Buds Live. You basically kind of get the package you wish you had gotten with the regular Galaxy Z Fold 2, but you have to spend an extra $1,300 for it. The skin is terrible looking. The icons look like trash. The wallpapers are bad. Like, just like buying a $2,000 phone is indulgence enough. Like, you don't need to actively make it worse to justify your like weirdo hype beast fashion trend needs.
And that's I think they know their market for this though. It is VCs, it is startup bros who want like the hot new thing. So I was thinking of like the last season of Silicon Valley, right? Where I think the douchiest startup bro had the red phone, which is literally the only place I've ever seen the red phones, because give it to the big startup bro, because only they would buy it. So it's for those characters. Sure.
And I want to say, like, doing the math a little bit for that Tom Brown edition, right? Like V said, you get the phone, which is $2,000, $2,000. Then you get the Watch 3, which is $400 to Yeah, it starts at $400. So let's say you get the $400 model. Then you have the Buds Live, if I'm not wrong, the Beans guys, and those start at what, $150, $130-ish. So
they should have just called them the Galaxy Beans, by the way. Why not?
They really should have.
Just do it.
But the total price there is like just a little bit under like $2,700, I guess, or $2,600, and you're paying $3,300 really to get that Tom Brown design and the custom accessories like watch straps and case design things for your buds. So I think the value there is hard to like justify unless you're like a really hardcore Tom Brown fan, or like Dev said, like a VC person who really wants
VC bro. It's all for people, the people tagged in VC Humble Brags, that Twitter account, which is fantastic. It's just for them. But hey, Samsung will make some money.
Yeah, and Sherlyn, to your point, like it's difficult to justify that value, but that's purely because it's meant for people for whom value is not a concept that they have to grapple with generally.
What I'm more excited for is the potential or the possibility of a BTS version of any of these things. I mean, we've seen Samsung do some BTS versions of, what was it, the Buds Plus?
I think there was the Buds, but they also definitely did the BTS Galaxy S20 Plus, which, in fairness to Samsung, I listen to K-pop. It's not like my go-to, but like that's a good-looking phone. Like I would be totally fine just using that phone.
Yeah, and I'm a budding Blink, which means I am a fan of Blackpink, and I would 100% buy a Blackpink phone. So
we're just making up words now, aren't we? What is happening? What?
Just get with the lingo, Devindra, okay? But to be fair, Samsung's not the first one, or this isn't even Samsung's first one, but they're not the first one to team up with like an outside designer to make a different variant or more expensive variant of his phone. We've got OnePlus has worked with, I think, McLaren, and in the past we've also had Huawei with Porsche design phones.
Well, let's not forget the Apple Hermes watch band thing. Yeah.
Okay.
But like you could almost justify Hermes, right? Like the Apple Watch for a while at least was this like weird, vaguely aspirational.
You can justify the gold Apple Watch, right? How much did that cost?
Not even. God. Yeah. The editions weren't they like $10,000 or something ridiculous?
So
like that?
really, Samsung and everybody is just like chasing that dream. Okay, folks, like what is going on here? I mean, Sherlyn, you spent some time with the Surface Duo. We still cannot. We can't turn it on. Listen, in private, we can turn it on. In public, on video and everything, we cannot. So just so you know, this is how reviews work. But Sherlyn, you could talk about the feel and the folding and all that stuff. Do you have any thoughts based on compared to this?
I want to compare. Yeah, I can compare it. I want to tell you that the Duo's hardware, now that I've spent some time just holding it, opening and closing it, it feels really good. It really, honestly, the weighting of it is very nicely balanced. I've held it a lot like open and then with one hand, like usually my left hand while my right types on the other screen. And it doesn't feel like a strain. It doesn't feel like it's about to fall out of my hands. Yeah. The hinge is super sturdy and it's a lot thinner. Like these single individual screens, they're each a lot thinner than the Fold looks to be. The Z Fold 2 looks like. So that alone, I think, already makes me feel good. I saw some comments during our live unboxing of the Z Fold 2 that asked if Chris could open and close the Z Fold 2 with one hand, and he could. And they were saying that the Duo can't be open and shut with one hand. Honestly, though,
I don't think that's a problem.
I feel like you could.
You can shut it with one hand. You can't open it from flat with one hand. Yeah.
But I can't open it with one hand that easily.
I would say people, once you get your hands on these things, that may not be a thing you want to be doing, just given the size of it and the way it's weighted. One-handed opening, like you may want to be a little more careful. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the hinge also feels a lot different. I mean, I'm expecting the Z Fold 2. Again, I haven't touched the Z Fold 2, but from what I know of the Z Fold 2 based on videos and of the Z Flip, I think the hinge on the Surface Duo is actually a lot smoother. Like it actually folds in position possibly just a lot better.
I will say unreservedly the best hinge I've ever seen in my entire life. Like just not just gadget, but any product. Like this is something Microsoft has been perfecting for a while. So
yeah, it's very pretty too. It's oddly just kind of attractive because there's like these two silver cylinder things that are just next to each other. But anyway,
nice.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to meet up somewhere in the middle at some point.
I was going to say we really need to.
And stay 6 feet apart and just like fold at each other.
Yeah. Should I catch?
No, don't do, V, haven't you learned?
What have we learned?
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
But no, I do think that a meetup is in the works for me and Chris Velasco, so we can both play with these things and then tell you on a later show maybe about what we felt when I can fully talk about the software.
Yeah, a folding video. We'll hear more about the Surface Duo soon. V, can you say when can we expect a review of the Z Fold 2?
So what can I say about that? We can so here's what I'll say.
Okay.
We can basically publish a review whenever we want, but we obviously, this is probably by far one of the most important phones of the year. So we're going to take a little bit extra with this one. We generally, if we have the opportunity, we'll turn a review around in a week. That's with the video and the full written component and the photos. But for this one, we really want to do this one justice. So I would say give us like a couple extra days to make sure that this one is as good as it deserves to be for something like this.
Well, let me just say, people, you do not want a rushed review. Like, that's the thing, especially with these new devices. The Surface Duo, I think, based on just my time with it, it'll take at least a week to learn how to use it and how to get used to those types of devices. So
I mean, spending time. To really hammer home that point, in general, I prefer if we took our time with devices to be able to really get to know them better before we put our thoughts down on paper and on video. But sometimes we don't have the luxury of that because companies give some super tight timelines sometimes, but they're better. And I think in general, I don't feel like I need to compete with all the other people putting up their reviews up on day one or something. Mm-hmm. Maybe we can do it more justice, like you said, if we spend a bit more time with it. So that's our philosophy, at least.
Yeah.
For the three of us.
All good. Thank you so much, V. You have to say something to say you're leaving the podcast.
I'm leaving now. I've just done a salute at the camera. Thanks for having me. It's always really fun, and I'm going to go play with this thing and try not to break it for the next couple days.
Please don't.
Boom. Okay, good. We are done.
All right, so we're done with the show.
And so show is over now.
Recording
stop. Things out of order. Yes, you can stop the recordings. Actually, no, keep the recordings going if you haven't stopped them already.
Okay.
So we've got some comments. Peter in the chat said he had a general question about build quality. He said, "Does it feel like it would last?" The Z Fold.
The original, if only because the hinge has just so much more attention to it than the original. That's partially because they wanted people to be able to sort of prop it up and use it in what they call flex mode. So it does have the ability to stay, totally open between 45 and pretty oblique angles. This is a much sturdier phone. It's much better built than the original. It's physically and in terms of hardware better in every single way. I've been saying for a while now that what Samsung really needed to nail was the software, and I do have some questions about that, but we'll get to that in the review.
And there was another comment. I forget who said that you are less likely to get a big phone like this because you're not really going places. They actually cut against that, and they said that COVID is one reason that they would be getting the Fold 2 because they don't care about carrying a bulky phone around in their pocket because they're not on the go. So it's a good intermediary between a tablet or a laptop or something like that.
Yeah, that's a really great point. I mean, we all bring our own personal experiences to whatever device that we have. And again, I'll be the first to admit that my circumstances and Devindra's and Sherlin's circumstances are definitely different than most people because we have access to just tons of stuff. So it's within the last few months, I've really personally found myself gravitating towards smaller phones. I really love the Pixel 4a. I love the iPhone SE because they give me just enough functionality when I need it. And then I can just sort of walk over to my desk or turn on the TV for other things that I might have tried to use a phone for in the past.
It almost feels like we should be talking about the best ways to think about your devices during pandemic and while you're trapped at home. But I think the bigger, cheaper tablets, like the base iPad, is a fantastic thing now.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So it's to me, it makes more sense having a normal sized phone and then keep that iPad around for when you're sitting at the couch or when you just want to really dive into something big rather than just carry around something bulky like this. But hey, that's me.
Yeah, we have another question about how to use or how you're interacting with the Z Fold. Someone asks, do you have to push it in the center with your thumb to fold it up?
To fold it up. So that is the weird thing. If you're using both hands, it's pretty easy. Just like grab both sides and do it. But when we were doing this sort of one-handed opening demonstration earlier, that feels very bad because when you're, at least if you're me, you sort of have to shimmy a thumb into the crack between the two sides, and then you do have to push with a considerable amount of force on the left side of the phone to open it. And all the while, your fingernail, your thumbnail is digging into the screen protector that's covering the ultra thin glass. So I don't really expect that this will damage the fold long term, but something about this action just it feels like it would have the potential to do that if you
the way I understood that question though is I think they meant like when it's open and then do you have to press the middle of the screen to like trigger the hinge to start folding, but I think you can still push the bottom middle of the phone, right, when it's fully flat and open.
If you're if it's open and you want to close it with one hand, the best way to do it is to keep one thumb towards the center of the screen, apply a bit of pressure, and let your other fingers
Does that feel like it would break it?
It doesn't feel as bad to me as trying to open it with one hand and like jamming my thumb into one side of the screen. So I wouldn't worry about that scenario as much as the one that I'm really not a fan of.
Oh, and then we had another question that I thought would be better for just this big Q&A time. So Derp wanted to know, what phone do each of you use when you're not doing reviews? Like, what do you just using as your, I think you've called it a daily driver in the past.
My main driver currently is the Pixel 4a. I fully switched over to the Pixel 4a, and it's held up. Like, I honestly am surprised, but I am also testing several things on several different phones, so it's also like maybe I'm not pushing it that hard because I'm using all these other different phones.
I hear you. I'm using an iPhone 11 Pro, not the Pro Max, because the Pro Max is way too big, way too heavy. It's insane, but I love like the Pro is like the perfect size for me right now. And I don't know, looking forward to whatever new stuff comes down the line this year.
I was using the 11 Pro Max, but it honestly just like hurts my wrist. Like I have
so heavy.
It's not pleasant to use anymore. Like I'm just over it. So I've gone fully in on the iPhone SE. I really do like the Pixel 4a a lot, but like they're roughly the same price, and the iPhone SE gets you like literally a flagship caliber chipset. Like, I'm gonna use that one.
Well, I mean, you're also our Apple guy. It makes sense that your daily driver is an Apple device.
I'm the guy who has to deal with Apple all of the time. I'm not strictly the Apple guy, but I understand why.
What I meant wasn't that like you're iSheet or you're like sold out to Apple. I just meant like you cover iPhones more than anyone else. You're the only person that really covers iPhones, so you really have to know that ecosystem very well, and it makes sense for you to use.
I'm surprised you're sticking with the SE2V just because them bezels, especially after going with all these bezel-free devices for so long. That's just the thing I wouldn't be able to live with, and I really hope the next one does not have the top notch because it's killing me. It's killing me, man.
You know what it is for me, honestly, is I do occasionally go outside. I go out like at night under cover of darkness to exercise and like get groceries and stuff. And honestly, like having a fingerprint sensor there, like that to me is more valuable than having like a couple extra millimeters of screen real estate. Like it's just fast. It's easy. I don't have to take my mask off. Like it's where I need to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's saying something that we're both meaning the lower end or mid-range earphones these days.
There's one more question about these multi-screen phones. So Oliver asked, can you compare the Surface Pro Duo to the Galaxy Z Fold 2 to the FX Pro 1 slider? This is my first time hearing of this, but I'm not a pro reviewer.
Not that one.
No. I have one. Hold on.
No.
No, I shouldn't roll away to my side. And
No. You should go. You should go. I'm just saying that phone. I'm groaning in advance about that.
And then they also mentioned the Priv 2 from BlackBerry.
The BlackBerry Priv. I mean, we're talking keyboard phones now. For some, I guess. Or what's the Priv? No, the Priv was the all-screen. The key one is the keyboard phone. The Priv 2, the BlackBerry Priv 2, was that a keyboard phone? Was that the Android one?
The Priv was the slider, right?
The slider, I think.
Yes.
Let me double check.
The Priv was the slider. Then we got the Key 1 and the Key 2, which were just like keyboards, which were really, really pretty. What was the question with respect to this thing that I totally forgot that I had?
Okay, just compare the Windows Duo to the Galaxy Z Fold 2 to the FX Pro 1 slider.
So Shalane, do you want to lead off with Surface stuff?
I mean, you can't really compare them because one's a keyboard sliding phone and one's a hinged dual screen device. It's really hard to explain.
Let me also throw the what was it the triple slider, the Helios, mode. You remember that?
Back when Helio Mobile was a thing.
Yes,
we've got one of those at the office. Unfortunately, I never grabbed it. The one with like you slide up for like your keypad and you slide the other way with
Helio Ocean. The Helio Ocean. That was good stuff. I love that.
That was like a 2007 phone. That was like
it was right before the iPhone came. It was 3G when first gen iPhone was not 3G. That phone beats everything.
All right, so the FX Pro 1 slider can V, do you remember the specs about it? So at least I can make some sort of comparison there.
If I remember correctly, and it's been a while since I've had anything to do with this phone. I believe it was
a really neat call out. Wow.
I believe it was a Snapdragon 845. I mean, look, this FX Tech is like a London-based startup. It was designed by a person who grew up loving like the Nokia E series. Like this guy is like a keyboard guy, for sure. Yeah. They're excellent. I don't think we ever really reviewed this thing because we got really busy. But
it was at MWC. It showed up at MWC 2019, and we covered it there with the hands-on. But I love that you have one. I love those types of keyboards.
I will say physically, the one sort of concern I always had about the FX Tech was that, yes, the slide out mechanism does work really well. And
can you do that again by the microphone? I love a good slider.
So this is going to prove my point really nicely.
Ooh.
Like that
sounds good.
Like that's moving with a lot of velocity. Like I would not be surprised if like these little plastic bits, or I guess they're metal. They're metal.
Yeah.
But one of these like sprues holding up the display just like gave out after a while. And if you take a look, actually, I don't know how well you can see it, but the ribbon cable for the display is just hanging in there.
No, like, don't do that.
I would be very concerned using this long. Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh man, let me just say, I do miss the thunk of a good slider. Thunk.
It does. This thing does close the most satisfyingly of all of the devices I've ever tested.
So now that I opened up the FX Tech product page for this thing, and now that I've seen a bit more about like the way they're positioning it, I get the comparison to the Duo a little bit better. You slide out the screen, there's keyboard below, and then you can run like multiple apps when you have that thing on landscape. And I guess the Duo sort of is supposed to do that if you hold it in landscape and you have the bottom half of the screen as a touch keyboard and then apps on the top. I mean, I just think the Duo might be a bit more versatile because that bottom half of the screen can do literally whatever you want. Whereas like for the FX Tech, the bottom part is a keyboard. Like it only is a keyboard.
We'll
but
I wish we could give more of a definitive answer because I don't think we've ever tested an FX Tech with final software.
Let me just throw this out too. I do think multitasking on normal smartphones is getting better because I'm running the iOS 14 beta right now. And yesterday I had to listen in on a video conference and I had to keep it full screen to play. I swiped up. It moved up into a little window in the corner of my phone. And I was able to keep viewing other stuff on my phone. I was like, this is earth shattering. This is the best.
And Android for a bit, but yes. Okay.
Quiet you.
So they're joking in the chat right now about whether or not there's an embargo on when the Duo embargo lifts.
I think
like a double embargo.
Obviously,
a meta embargo.
I mean, I think everybody is aware that reviewers who have
this is why
agreements with Microsoft can't really but it is true that like I've seen a lot of tweets about this where like you can already play with it in the store and talk about the software if you play with it in the store. If you're a regular person, consumer, not
if you want to brave COVID and go to a Microsoft store, more power to you. Or any store, right? Best Buys.
Best Buys have them, yeah.
And whether there's an embargo about when the embargo lifts, and if there's an embargo about talking about the embargo lifting, that's a good point. I don't know, but we generally try not to say.
I can't remember the last time like we've been able to just like discuss embargoes as a thing out loud in front of people, right? Like that always felt to me like the most inside baseball.
Yeah,
like,
I think people know now.
Yeah.
No, I know. I think now we've been called out about it so much that like it's a known thing, even in like especially in the people who like watch tech reviews a lot. They're like, oh, I guess the embargo lifted because people notice, right?
We know how it works. We know how it works. Like when I was a kid following like frickin' gaming websites, I knew like when all the reviews dropped. Like, come on, this is not some like black magic here. I want to say, folks, thank you for joining us. We can take some more questions, but I do also want to shout out that our next episode of our upscaled show, which is all about NVIDIA's RTX 3000 cards, is going to be going live as soon as we end this stream. So be sure to refresh the Engadget YouTube channel. Keep an eye out for that. Chris Schott, I know, is very excited. Like he is in probably full-on Super Saiyan mode talking about these cards. So I'm looking forward to watching that video.
I'm seeing one thing in the chat about the Cosmo Communicator, how that would compare to all of these.
Y'all are just throwing out names to be like as niche as possible now.
There's only one person at Engadget who would possibly have a Cosmo Communicator, and that's James True, the king of weird keyboard.
Oh, is it the little thing? Okay,
it's that little weird mobile
laptopy thing.
It was like they designed it to be like the successor to like those like Scion PDAs back in the 90s, which had those like physical keyboards and sort of looked like Nokia N90 communicators or whatever the hell.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to say the good thunk from this FX slide kind of reminds me of the Foley that they did for the Matrix cell phones.
That's where it started. Like that, the thunk on that's the Matrix smartphone or just phone. What was that?
What model of phone was that? Because I'm pretty sure they did a very small run of those.
Which Matrix phone though?
The first one, the slider that flipped
the original one for the Matrix was like the Nokia banana phone.
Like
an 88 something or other. But then for the second one, Samsung did like a really ugly Matrix specific phone.
No thanks.
It looked like it was built like a brick.
Oy.
I know way too much about this.
We know. We could just sit here and talk all day. I'm going to wind this down to let these people go home. Thank you so much for joining us on this live stream. And I also want to shout out, if you enjoy this live stream, if you want to see when we're getting new videos, be sure to hit that little bell to get your notifications when our YouTube stuff goes live. So whenever anything new happens on YouTube, hit that bell. Follow us, please.
For people who tend to ask, sometimes people ask me like when this actual podcast that we just recorded today, when is it going to be available? It's available tomorrow morning. Friday mornings are when we drop new episodes of the Engadget podcast, which you can get basically anywhere you get your podcast.
Subscribe. Let's say if you're enjoying us, do not just listen to individual episodes. Subscribe, because that tells us people are actively engaging with the show and it helps us keep the show around.
So let's shout out the video team. This stream comes to you via our video team led by Kyle Mock with Owen Davidoff, Greg Carmel, and Julio Barrientos. But it is powered by everyone in the chat. If you've stuck around this long, rate the show on iTunes. We come from a world of algorithms. We all live in a world of algorithms, and it helps more than you think. So we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.